Right, just a real quick one. I thought I'd have a check on the Colocasia. These are all Escalente in here, or Escalenta, standard green elephant ear. So I do leave a lot in the ground every year, and I've probably got, I don't know, 10 plus plants I've left in the ground. I've potted some up and they're in a summer house, and I've also dry stored some. So in general I find these type of Colocasia pretty hardy where I am, but you know, we've had a harsh winter, so I wouldn't be surprised if some of them don't make it. But this is why I always have the backup of dry storing as well. So that's probably good practice to check these maybe once a month throughout the winter. And to be honest, I haven't. They've been kept at room temperature, like I say, maybe 18 degrees or so in a dark cupboard. So they've been kept dark, and we've got sawdust in here, so it's bone dry, and you have to make sure that you dry out these corms well before you try and dry store them. I did do a bit of a video in the autumn last year when I took these out, and anyway, so this is what they look like now. So I'm probably going to look to start these off, not just yet, maybe in a month's time, still earlier, even though it's a really nice, pleasantly warm, sunny day outside, and it makes you want to start potting things up and get going. I'm going to resist the temptation, because these, when you dry storm and then you bring them back out of dormancy, they if you don't get the temperature and the moisture levels just right, they'll rot off before they'll grow. Anyway, so this is just an update really on a look and see how they done, and to be fair, they're all looking good. So these are all nice and hard. Still see there's a couple of little, got some little green eyes on some of them, so they're getting towards a point where they want to grow. And like I say, they're all hard. There's no, I've gone through these, and even the sort of little ones on the offshoots of the main bulb are still good by looks. Look like they're still viable. Yeah, so they've come through winter no problem whatsoever. Again, just make sure you dry them out properly and give them a check. So yeah, we've got some reasonable size here. And like I say, I always leave the little ones on the sides, because you've got more chance of them surviving dry storing if they're still attached to a bigger rhizome, rather than separating them off. So we can see on this one, for instance, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 or 6 sort of ready to come off. So maybe when I decide to pot these up, I'll just pop them off the sides and pot them up separately. But I did have a couple that did fall off while I was dividing out. So this one is really dried up. I mean, it's hard, but it's dried up, so I wouldn't hold my breath on it. I'd still pot it up and give it a go. But I have got some that are, you know, this is a classic example, it's just too small, it's just dried out and there's nothing to it. But I did go through there, and there was a couple that had were quite small. Here we go, here's one, and that to me is still, you know, look how small that is, but yeah, still viable. That'll still come back. So yeah, I mean, if you haven't already and you are dry storing these, I mean, you should really check them. If you have got a propagator or somewhere very warm, then you could start them off now, but I'm going to leave mine for another month. Alright, so that's really just a little quick video for you, just to see what's going on with them. Thanks for watching.